Hi, everyone. Welcome back, ladies. And it's another Sunday. Today, we'll be discussing creating a sleep sanctuary. So, what is your bedroom like? Are you like me? Do you work from home? Is your desk just a couple feet away from your bed? Do you have separate areas where you can relax versus work? Or do you also are you also like me? Sometimes your kids' stuff and their toys are just everywhere and there's not always a good separation between your bed and the rest of your life. If that's the case, keep listening. Today's mini webinar is all about creating a sleep sanctuary because the room, the environment, the vibes that your bedroom gives off can greatly impact the quality of sleep that you get. And it was actually pretty interesting when I was looking at the literature. There are a couple studies about this, not a ton, and certainly I didn't see any significant randomized controlled trials. And we like to have randomized controlled trials because that's the best quality evidence. But at the end of the day, it's all about comfort and finding what works best for you. So, in terms of sleep hygiene, when we think about bedroom environments, we always talk about places that are cool, dark, and quiet. But today I want to dive a little bit deeper into that to really pinpoint what does that mean for you. And when we talk about things that are comfortable, I want to bring in our five senses. And so the senses, our sight, our vision, our touch, feeling, hearing, smell, and taste can really impact how we feel. I created a mini meditation about the five senses also on the channel if you want to check that out. If you have a hard time falling asleep or staying asleep, thinking about your five senses certainly could help. But we'll talk about how we can leverage and how we can really optimize our senses to help improve our bedroom environment and create a sleep sanctuary. Because who doesn't want to have a place of utmost relaxation, rest, and really zen when we try to go to sleep at night? Alrighty, so let's talk a little bit about the research. I won't bore you with these details, but I thought it was actually pretty interesting. And the research was really done in big cities. And so I think one of the studies was done in Shanghai, another one was done in Korea. So if you don't necessarily live in a big city, it may not be as applicable for you, but there were some interesting things that did come up. So the study in Shanghai, they did a questionnaire of over 1,000 people, half for men, half for women. So that's good. They included a lot of women because our audience is women, our community is women. And it showed that their sleep quality was affected by temperature, which is really, really important, right? If it's too cold or too hot, dryness, and that's also something I don't always think about, the humidity level and then your noise. What I found pretty interesting about this article is that people who lived in bedrooms without plants had 74.5 chance of getting better sleep. And so if you take a look at this is my office at the corner of my bedroom, I have a couple of plants here. I love plants. They really make me feel happy. I consider myself a plant mama. I like to see them grow. But according to this research of over 1,000 people, if you didn't have a plant in your environment, you actually slept 74% of people slept better, which was super interesting to me. Maybe they had allergies to plants, and so that's why they couldn't, but I don't know. It didn't really say why. I just read the abstract. So interesting to know. But then on the opposite side, too, is that if you lived in an area with a lot of artificial facilities, meaning if you couldn't look outside your window and see the mountains or see trees, if it was more like concrete or other buildings, basically, if you couldn't see nature around you, that also affected your sleep. So it sounds like, according to this study, if you looked outside and saw nature, that was better for your sleep quality than having nature brought into your bedroom. Take it for what it is. I like having my plants. They make me happy, and that's important. Another thing that this study talked about, which is a little bit interesting, was ventilation. How much air is flowing and moving around your bedroom. And that's associated with improved sleep quality. But it was so interesting. I typically, if it's not too hot, I like to have the window open so get that natural fresh air. But this report actually showed that just leaving your door open, your bedroom door open for 15 minutes resulted in better quality sleep than having your windows open. Interesting study. I don't know what to make of it. I like to have my windows open. I like to sleep with pants. And so do what's most comfortable for you. In another study, they took a look at some factors as well: noise, When you think about noise, how loud or how quiet does it need to be? And honestly, everyone's a little bit different. There's a lot of folks that I talk to that like to have the TV on, mainly because they live alone, and so they like to have that noise in the background. They use a timer, so when they fall asleep, it goes off. Or they like to listen to meditation recordings, or even sleep stories before they go to bed, and I find that comfortable. This study said, particularly if the noise is below 35 decibels, which is really just a fan at a low speed or just a quiet whisper. And that was conducive to better sleep. Another thing to think about is your humidity level. So it's got to be around 40 to 60%, which is pretty a wide range. So if you're in the desert, you may want to consider humidifications. And I don't know if you live in a humid environment, if you want to have dehumidifiers, see if that it can impact. I know for me, when I used to live in Hawaii, I'm in California now, and I would come to California in the wintertime, and it was so dry and the air was so cold. I definitely had to have a humidifier. I would just wake up, just yeah, I needed to drink water, so parched. And I had a hard time sleeping. Temperature, this was really interesting. There was a wide range. The National Sleep Foundation recommends somewhere between like 66 to 72. This study was 62 to 82, which is really interesting because I do like it a little bit warmer. My husband, my bed partner, he definitely likes it on the cold end. So again, find what works best for you. Complete darkness, avoid blue light. We know blue light can impact our circadian rhythm. Light, darkness, and melatonin is our circadian rhythm. And if we have blue light, it can delay that release of melatonin, which can impact our sleep quality. Another one that was interesting here that I don't often think about is the air quality. They said sea level air quality was best. And actually, if you lived in places with higher altitudes, so our friends in Colorado and Denver, I think Colorado Springs, someone told me recently, was even higher than Denver, you may want to consider supplemental oxygen. But I think if you're there, your body acclimates. But maybe if you're new, oxygen potentially can help improve your sleep quality. So, yeah, just two studies to briefly review, just some interesting tidbits that I didn't know about. So, let's talk about the five senses, right? Vision. So, what do you see? What are the colors of your bedroom? The color screens, are they comfortable for you? Do you have, I don't know, I don't want to pick a color that someone may like, but do you have a bedspread that isn't pleasant? Maybe it is a avocado green color that you just don't like, but your partner likes it. I feel like the whole vibes of the color scheme of your room should be conducive to sleep. Other parts of vision, your lighting. Do you like it pitch black, or do you need to have a little bit of light? It's really interesting. My daughter, who's 6 years old, she used to have this hologram that showed, either unicorns or stars or moons at night, and that was comforting. She needs a nightlight to help her sleep. Versus my son, when she grew out of that, I put in my son's room, and for a couple nights, he was just like, no. He wanted it completely black. He didn't like any kind of light, which is interesting, to each their own. Okay, the next sense is our sense of touch or feeling. What is the fabric of your bedspread? Given the fact that it's in summertime right now, do you have sort of more of a cooling temperature? You certainly don't want any flannel sheets in the middle of summertime. How about your mattress? Is your mattress too soft? Is it too firm? Or is it just right? Do you have a Goldilocks type situation there? What about your pillows and the pillowcases? These things certainly can impact a lot of how you sleep. Are you a side sleeper? Are you a back sleeper? Are you a stomach sleeper? And the type of mattress, the type of pillows can really help or not help with that. So the next sensation is sound. Okay, do you need a little bit of noise? Do you like to listen to a meditation CD or recording? I shouldn't say CD. I think that ages me. A meditation recording that help you relax into sleep? Or do you like nothing? Or do you need a fan? I had a good friend growing up who always needed a fan, and it was just like blasted really loud. And it was a sound, it wasn't necessarily the temperature. But yeah, he really enjoyed sleeping with a fan and almost couldn't sleep without it. The next is scent. What does your environment smell like? Which sounds a little bit interesting. Do you like to have, lavender diffused, or a little satchel, or a candle by your bedside? How close is your bedroom to your bathroom? And can the smells from that impact your sleep, which is honestly pretty important? And then taste. Probably don't taste anything, but think about the last thing that you tasted in your mouth? Does your toothpaste that you use at night impact your ability to fall asleep? Is it off putting, or hopefully it's something that you enjoy? Because the more we can help you relax, right? Whether it be through the colors of your room, whether you have plants or not have plants, the sounds of your environment, the things that you see, that overall vibe. Is it more comfortable, more calming, more relaxing, more zen? If so, you're going to have better sleep. Versus, do you have toys all around the place? Do you have books or papers that you need to be cleaned up? And, if there are a lot of clutter, can you do one thing? Meaning, just work on your nightstand, right? Just work on the area, the perimeter right around your bed, picking up some clothes that maybe need to be in the hamper, and just start there. Because when you change a habit or when you make any type of behavior change, it's better to do it slowly and little by little. And then you'll notice where, with time, you'll have that sleep sanctuary, that environment that really brings you joy. So, hope you found this video helpful. If you want to learn more about relaxation exercises, specifically about the five senses, I have it here on my channel as well. The five senses exercise. It's a really good one to help turn on that relaxation response and turn down that stress response. Let me know if you do create a sleep sanctuary. Tag me on Instagram at Sleephoria and would love to see you. Bye bye now. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Thanks for watching.